Trilogy. Now, I don't mean to convert you, to scare you, or to make you angry, or to make fun of your book, or of anybody else's book for that matter, just to tell some old, mostly familiar stories in perhaps slightly less familiar ways. This is only my walk through some Bible stories in 3 parts, kind of a Cliff Notes version in that it's short, a little different because they're told in reverse order. Some of the names are changed, and mostly because it rhymes. So here are Bible stories backwards in 3 parts. Part 1 of 3, beginning with the end, Revelations, the Omega story, complete with obscure imagery. This version written near and around the change of the millennium, right around that time that we were afraid that the world might actually be close to ending. Present tense. Simon Legree is all tapped out. He's lost his tarnished crown to angels of the highest order. There's a new seraph come to town. There'll be trouble in the city, so we're getting out of Dodge. We're planning on a night flight and headed for the lodge. Put a call in for the governor. Tell him we're leaving here and soon. We're guided by the dog star and bound beyond the moon. For those who work for peace, dynamite's inventor gives a prize, and Prometheus had his liver plucked for stealing fire from the skies. In a seeming seamless segue, where history suddenly stands stock still, the bridegroom will return once more when it's time to pay the bill. End times, the rapture, encoded complexity, summed up in the end, 2 words: God wins. Part 2 of 3, the middle, the change-up pitch, the Gospels and the Acts of the Apostles, SAVED. Mary had a little lamb, and Lord, were we surprised. They say he walked on water and he turned some into wine. His story is in the Gospels. Mark, Matthew, Luke, and John, with what he said, wrote down in red when they turned their tape recorders on. Now, Saul didn't start out as a player. He just watched the pitchers' coats, while Stephen, he cited history on that day that he got stoned. Back then were Peter, Paul, and Mary. Now we, imperfect saints here on the loose, may we not so quick as Judas be to put more necks inside a noose. What must I do, the young man asked, that I be saved? It's more about love and God and neighbor now, the teacher said, and not some far-off pearly gate. Part 3 of 3. And God said, Genesis, in the beginning. First family. I didn't do it. Once there were 2 brothers who must have started out as friends, and then one of them got jealous and he did his brother in. But before Cain, there was Adam. And you know what he did? He took a bite of forbidden fruit, and then he blamed it on his friend. Now, Eve did give in to the tempter, but that wasn't her biggest flaw, and it wasn't coaxing Adam wrong. It was her mistrust in God. And it seems like things haven't changed that much. In at least 10,000 years, we're still jealous and blaming and tempted and letting trust give way to fear. We're told to love God and neighbor, to treat the stranger as a friend. Instead, we seem happiest and most content confessing other people's sin.